Well, the last time that I used Obama in my commentary didn't win. Well, so I'm doing it again. However, it will be on a video out of me.
An age of darkness is upon us. Shallow entertainment that panders to the lowest common denominator threatens to destroy all of pop culture. Yet in this darkness, there is hope. There's only one way to save the entertainment industry from certain doom. Only one way to stop artists and creators from walking the dark path. By leaving a mean comment on the internet.
Is that really going to help?
Giving criticism is a fine and delicate art form that requires nuance and careful consideration in order to effectively give feedback to a creator.
Exactly.
Much like how a bulldozer demolishes a house. Fear not, because giving criticism is not a skill, so you don't have to worry about honing your ability to give feedback.
If you really feel like, and I care, well, and I don't.
It's not like a writer can learn anything by reading the works of others with a critical eye, as well as sharpening their ability to workshop scenes in order to fix key problems. I mean, I can't see how those could be applied to one's own writing.
That is blood and is it just me, or did you just take that video from another person?
Instead, giving criticism should be seen as an opportunity to cut loose and put other creators down in order to elevate a writer's own position.
Nobody cares.
Now, the first thing to know about giving criticism is that this is personal. When giving critique, one cannot risk appearing weak, so it is necessary to personally insult the author of the work being critiqued. This will make sure the author is paying attention. A critic could make it impersonal in order to keep the focus on the work being critiqued, and thus allowing the original creator to look upon their own work without worrying about personal attacks to distract them. The problem with this approach is that it isn't as much fun for the critic. Tearing people down is good entertainment and an excellent way to stroke one's own ego.
Nobody cares.
Don't forget to be snarky too. Be sure to grind any confidence the author has into dust so you can laugh at the broken remains of their creative ambitions.
There's no way. That's criticism plus criticism is where you're telling someone what they're doing wrong.
Isn't it great to be drunk on power?
No, it is not.
Are you not a sadist who subsists entirely upon the tears of authors? Is being mean to people too much? That's fine. Instead, we can say nothing bad about the work being critiqued at all. Is a story full of overpowered Mary Sues who endlessly preach about environmentalism between long stretches of plot dedicated to a love triangle so convoluted that the reader needs a flowchart? Well, a nice critic can always say the font choices are nice since at least the entire thing isn't written in Comic Sans.
Nobody cares.
And when the original author asks if it's okay that they have the good guys use a burning cross as their symbol, one can always reply with, I guess it could work. We don't want to be mean after all, even if it is at the cost of letting a fellow creator grow in skill and knowledge. Fortunately, being nice is completely optional on the internet. Instead, we can focus on what internet critique is really for.
Nobody cares.
Getting hung up on petty nitpicks no one else cares about. Hate scenes that take place in a coffee shop? Better spend the entire critique rambling about how awful coffee shop scenes are, even if the scene only went on for a paragraph. I mean, there is the scene where Mary Sue preaches about animal rights for 12 pages straight, or the part where the anti-hero slaughters orphans for shock value, but no, the mere inclusion of a coffee shop scene is clearly...
Another gross truck. Just stop.
...the problem. What about the part where the fast pace utterly evaporates at the coffee shop scene, or the characters do nothing but sip coffee and partake in small talk rather than advance the plot or engage in meaningful conflict? Nope, doesn't matter. Don't bother to explain why it's bad.
Nobody cares.
The mere fact the scene takes place in a coffee shop is simply unforgivable. Worst story ever. Oh hey, hyperbole. Hyperbole is great when giving critiques. The label of worst book ever should be carelessly thrown about because clearly this story is worse than a book that makes 50 Shades look like Sesame Street or a book that helped pave the way for World War II.
Nobody cares.
Well, that video did sense. He claims that's me when it's not. Well, the video is over. So, bye.